This is the main menu of my level, the Forgotten Shrines. The background is a sequence of camera angles around the playable area, which gives you a little bit of a preview of the level. My level starts on a cave, which transitions out onto a cliff, and this change in environment works as a spatial reveal to show off the level, and it also has direct sight lines to the ending area. One of the things you can see from this angle is my use of landmarks. I use red and orange as a color highlight, and I use them on these lanterns to direct the player. Down here you can get a better look at the cloud material. I had to edit this a bit and remove the shadows, and I ended up just darkening the color to sort of offset that, and I think it looks pretty good. I've put a lot of attention into sound to create a good atmosphere with music and ambient environment sounds, but also with my interactions and UI. You can now hear a jingling chime noise near the shrines, as well as a jingle when you pick them up. And I can still hear it jingling, so there must be one nearby. So the noise also helps the player know that there's one that they haven't collected, and they can go back and get it. Here you can see that there's a lip on the edge of this climbable, and this helps with the visual affordance and lets the player know that they can climb on this. The shrine I have placed up here also encourages the player to explore and look for other shortcuts. I had a few people playtest my level, one being another student and another being my dad, and I think that almost covers my demographic in terms of game skill. I wanted my level to be accessible to anyone, both in its theme, being a calming exploration type game, but also in the technical skill required. I didn't want it to be too difficult for new and experienced players. During playtesting, I discovered a number of small technical issues. One of those was collision. There was a lot of areas where the player could get stuck and I would have to smooth those over. And another was triggers not working properly. But one of the more gameplay related ones was to add more areas of exploration and more secrets in shrines. So I included some more shrines in existing areas, but I also created some new areas for the player to explore. This area is one of the main mountains. It's the first area that you have to complete in order to open the gate. And as we make our way back, we can see a shrine that we missed. I positioned a few shrines like this to be occluded from the player's view. And this way they only see it until they progress a certain distance. This helps them distribute more evenly across the level, while both being accessible and hidden to the player's view. Here I've added some banners, and these are to stop the player from jumping across. This is something I noticed during playtesting. People would try and jump across without opening the gate first. While you can still crouch underneath them, it's a lot less intentional, but I've left the option there if you feel like speedrunning. After this gate we move over to the next mountain, and this is the next area that you have to complete before you move on to the next gate. Right here I've added a shrine in the same sort of way as before. It just lets the player know that this is a gap that they can cross. After this vertical drop, I wanted the player to feel more isolated, and I just made an instance of the cliff material and removed the grass. It just makes it feel a little bit more cold and isolated. It also communicates that this might be the last area and it could be more difficult. And it looks like there's a shrine back there that I missed. This is one of my favorite areas. I feel like the composition is pretty good. It also just looks really nice in the screenshots. But I like the combination of hugging this cliff face and also jumping out and getting onto these small skinny islands. Up here you can see I've made another instance of the cliff material. This one's just to match the autumn orange leaf color, and this communicates sort of a special area. It also catches the player's eye. I also created this particle effect of these blowing leaves, and I just got that from a leaf shape I found online, and I tried to match it as best as I could to the tree. And this all contributes to the orange-red color theme. This button or switch I have here, I positioned it very specifically so that when you walk out and press it, you're already facing the gate that opens. and it just helps with the player feedback. At the end of the level here, I have this large glowing portal, just drawing the player's attention. It's very clear where you're supposed to go. And this statue, I've included a jingling noise as well, but it's much more lower tone. If you walk in here, it ends the game and gives you a nice level complete screen with a restart button that takes you back to the main menu. And that concludes my gameplay showcase. Thank you for sticking around to check out my level.